Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 222nd of Kouryer podcast. Our today's guest is Taha El Biali. He's a concept artist from Cairo, Egypt. And of course, before we move into the general questions of the podcast, let me just quickly mention that in the for contact section of the captions, we can find the ID to his Instagram account and the link to his art station. So, in case you wanted to see more of his works. And of course, just to quickly explain, yes, I've been sick for a week now. Like, my voice is kind of changed. Of course, it's obvious. And yeah, just sorry about that. But I still have to, record podcasts. I can't stop. And with that being said, let's jump into the signature question of the podcast, which I open with, which is give us a little introduction on how we got into the world of visual arts and design. Basically, your original story of, how you became an artist.
Okay, first, thank you for having me in this podcast. And sorry for your sick, and I hope you like being better and like go well in your health. Okay, I'm from Egypt. I'm 27 years old. Actually, my whole story, like I think, beginning when I was a child. Um, I think me and my brother, actually I have another brother. He is a character designer, and we used to draw together and doing some fan art for Batman and Spider-Man, like DC comics and Marvel comics, something like this. But it's very roughly, like nothing that serious. And I go with the high school, and after high school, like my father, uh, there's like kind of my parents, you're gonna be a doctor or an engineer, something like this. And then my father, I talked to him, and he told me like, okay, you're gonna go in for art college or something. And I graduated from the High Institute Applied Art here in Egypt. And I was my study was graphic design. I studied graphic design, but I didn't work on it. I made like a shift career because I used to draw a lot in college, and I was being in an atelier a lot of time, having these kind of paper and pen, and just draw whatever I see in the colleague, maybe in the atelier or the street, my friends, something like this. I used to draw portraits in the beginning and still life, and learning about shadow and light and everything. And then I saw my brother. He also studied applied art, but in another colleague. But I felt like he's going far. Like he asked, okay, what next? So I saw him being in a characters, like drawing characters and everything like this. And I felt like it's okay, it's really cool. Then I started with him drawing characters, study anatomy and everything, for going and being better in drawing. And then I used to watch Pinterest a lot. And then I remember I saw something like a keyframe or something like this for a concept, like a huge, maybe like a titan, dead titan in a mountain or something like this. And I felt like, okay, this is very cool. And then I started to make these compositions and this artwork. Like I tried to copy it, and just on paper, nothing digitally. I hate digital in the beginning because I like drawing with pencil and pen and paper. And then after this, everything happened. I will not say quickly, but I used to draw a lot these things, and then start to ask and searching on YouTube, maybe sending a question to another artist or something. And this is a quick thing about how being in art. I will not say it's an art industry, but just the beginning of the art, in 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 drawing and loving these things.
All right, and of course, speaking of characters and stuff like that, what is your main branch of design that you're focusing on right now? As assuming it's characters, tell us your experience from the start of it until now.
Actually, I didn't focus on the character. I think the character, like it's in the beginning, just the beginning, and then I'm trying right now, focusing on making keyframes and cinematic keyframes, and solving a problem for design or something like this. Um, yeah, and I'm focusing right now on like being good at fundamentals every time, like having like a sketches or drawing or something like this. But yeah, for now I'm focusing on just concept art and keyframes. Not that way or that important thing about the characters. It's just frames.
Right, and now speaking of characters and art and stuff like that, let me actually throw you a random question. What are
Mhm.
some of your favorite game just entertainment franchises of all time that it really inspired you, whether it be games, movies, comic books? What are some of your basically obsessions?
Okay. I used to play games while like was when I was young, but maybe the game that makes me like, I think, love this kind of work. I think it's yeah, Last of Us. I really love this game, and I really love the art of it. And there is a lot of things like maybe God of War and um, maybe but Ghost of Tsushima. But Tsushima is like it's more nearly. Um, but like yeah, games like this, like having visuals and having these kind of huge and epic scenes, and of course Last of Us because the story and the way it's more real, because I love realistic things. I don't mind of like watching like stylized maybe cartoon or anime, but I'm really love like I think my direction is more in realistic way, so that's why I really love the Last of Us.
Yeah, and by the way, have you watched the new series like Last of Us series with Pedro Pascal and everything like that?
No.
I think you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Okay. Okay, I will watch it. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I used to,
awesome.
to watch like the podcast of Shadi Safadi actually, because
Oh,
yeah, and I learned a lot. Actually, there is a bunch of videos he made it in his YouTube channel about the composition and the coloring. It's more like it's very helpful, and it helped me a lot actually in the beginning.
all right.
Mhm.
And yeah, speaking of works and or stuff like that, how does your design process usually go? Anytime you want to start working on a new project, basically, what does the structure of your pipeline look like? Could you explain that?
Yeah, actually, I think I don't have like for now because yeah, I forgot to mention like I'm now like working on like I'm a freelance artist and working now for a game, and I have like 2 or 2.5 like years experience in a game, and I hope it goes well because I will show everything. I hope like I showing everything, but it's an NDA, so I can't show anything. And yeah, I'm now in game industry, like I'm happy, like one of my goals actually being in a game industry, and I hope it goes well. Okay, for my pipeline or workflow, I don't have like that like a way for a pipeline, but I use sometimes, and I'm practicing on it, on that, like making like asking myself a questions about what I'm gonna do, and because my problem sometimes like I just see everything like in a visually way, not in like separate things, because I think if you're gonna make like a your concept or your idea like in a separate way, so you have like to solve like there is kind of problems will have in your frame. And sorry if my English is not good, but I'm trying to on that. Um, so yeah, maybe if you're gonna separate your idea in many or a lot of questions, so you have every question, so you have to answer every question that you had in your main idea. And yeah, that will help. If you're gonna solve the first problem, so you are gonna go with the second one. So I'm trying to make like something like this because my ideas sometimes give like having like a whole visual. So I'm sometimes building something like in quick layout or quick blocking in 3D program or something, and then trying to add the design principle on it and complete my visual or my story, building the frame with after solving these kind of problems. I hope that I answered your question well.
Yeah, you did. Actually, I was gonna say something. Like honestly, like I'm not even making this up. Like when you said, "I sorry for my bad English,"
Yeah,
even before this podcast, you said like, I don't think the conversation is gonna be boring or janky because of my English or something like that. But I mean, for anyone who's listening, please comment down below. Like, listen, this is good English.
thank you.
This is good communication. It's English for communication. That's the whole point of like using
Yeah,
a second language. And why I'm saying this is because I'm sure you're not the only one who feels like this about their English or just a language they're learning, but just use it,
yeah, yeah.
because you're never gonna get better if you don't use it, and you're just gonna like get stuck in that same place.
Yeah, actually, I'm
And
practicing on it because I'm working with the studio right now. So I speak with them in English. So I'm trying to practice more and more and to be
yeah,
like,
it's obvious you're
yeah,
practicing.
yeah,
And yeah, basically don't be shy about like
I-
reaching out to other artists, even if you, for example, wanted to ask them a question or wanted to talk with them or something, because you're afraid because of, oh my god, my English is not good.
yeah, yeah,
Just screw it, just message them, it's fine, like and it'll be practice in the end, even if it's like a small practice.
yeah.
Oh god. And the next thing is, could you please, all right, this is actually a good question. What was the first art job paycheck you ever got, and what was it for, and how did it feel at the time when you got it? Basically the first salary you made out of art?
Yeah, actually, here in Egypt, there is not a good. There is a community for art here in Egypt, but not the way like it's they are trying to like, okay, we are trying here in Egypt like to build a good community in maybe concept art and characters and like a whole community for maybe games or movies, and we're trying very hard to make it better. But my first thing, because I have these problems because um, I don't have like I don't like to work in storyboard things or making storyboards or like kind of these things. And every time I have like a opportunity for work as a freelancer, it's just for a storyboard. So I refused a lot of them because I'm trying to focus on being a concept artist. But the first one, I had something like an illustration for a video. I think something for public figure, I think, here in Egypt. And I made like illustration for it, like it gonna shows like in a minute or something in his video. This is the first one, and the second one it's for a storyboard. But that's not for here in Egypt. Actually, it's out of Egypt. But yeah, actually, it was fun because I have something like it's flexibility, and sometimes I feel like I want to be free, like making storyboard, not just okay, do that and do that and do that. I'm trying to be free with it, like thinking how like the camera is going. Sorry, my cat.
No, it's
Uh,
fine, it's fine.
how gonna I put the camera or something like this. And yeah, this is I think because it's maybe 6 years or something like this. This is the first two job that I did as a freelancer.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
And the next thing I want to ask is, have you ever used your dreams as inspirations for your works? Like anything from your dreams ever?
Actually, I think I used it one because I had, I don't know, it's a bad dream or not, but I think I saw like a creature or something in my dream. So I tried to have a pen and paper and like have a couple of sketches for it, but I didn't make a lot of these. But actually, I want to focus on that. But I think I'm not dreaming actually. I'm just asleep and waking
It's
woke
just
up.
blank.
Yeah.
It's just darkness. Oh
Yeah,
god.
something like this.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, who are some of your favorite artists and designers that have inspired you the most?
There's a lot of artists actually. Um, okay, actually, there is a lot of artists. Like I said here, like in Egypt, there is a lot of my friends. One of them, like called Muhammad Abdel Fatouh, and actually, he's one of my favorite here in Egypt because in my mind, like he's like Craig Mullins actually, but in Egypt, like he's a Craig Mullins, Egyptian Craig Mullins, and yeah, of course, Craig Mullins, one of in the top, and Jimmy Jones, and for the industry right now, like there's Florent Lebrun, he worked on Last of Us, and Dana Arouria and Jad Saber, and there is there is a lot actually. Yeah, and yeah, there is John Sweeney and Aaron Lemonic. A lot of artists actually. I used to watch their not podcast because I didn't listen a lot for podcast. But yeah, I learned a lot from them, and I'm always watching their art like an inspiration for me.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
And what are you working on right now that you can tell us about? What kinds of projects is it? I mean, of course, if it's NDA, sure, we can skip
Yeah,
right
yeah.
past this question. But what kind of details you can share with us?
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Actually, my cat. I don't know what's
Actually,
going
can we
on.
see the cat? Is that possible?
Sorry.
Can you bring the cat on the podcast? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
possible?
yeah,
Yeah, that'd
yeah.
be awesome. Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah,
Cat's
yeah,
reveal. Yo, it's orange. Of course, it's an orange cat.
yeah. Is the name of it like it's
What's the
Timon?
name? Timon.
Timon. Yeah, like Timon and Bomba. Timon and
Oh,
Bomba.
it's
But,
a male cat. Oh, no.
yeah,
Doesn't like that. Doesn't like that.
yeah. He don't like anyone to hold him. Actually,
Even
I
you.
used to. Yeah, actually, I used to. Sometimes, like when I have anything in my leg, like he come and like remove it because I want to sleep right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Is that Valorant playing in the background?
Valorant, yeah, my brother playing Valorant.
Oh my god, from that little pixel I just noticed because so was Dart. Oh my god, I'm so good. Holy
Yeah,
shit. All right. So yeah.
yeah.
The next thing I want to actually ask and to talk about is just, this topic that I think everyone, especially since 2020, since everyone gets like inside, has been kind of dealing with to some extent and degrees, which is, mental health.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it briefly before the podcast, but if you have any valuable insights to share about this, how you dealt with your stuff or dealing with your stuff, mental health issues, or if you have anything to talk about this topic, please share
Yeah,
with us.
yeah. Actually, I think a lot of artists have this kind of problem in mental health, like depression and things like this. I go through it actually for a long time, but there is like in a good way, like good way and bad way from this experience. Because in a good way, like I used to be in with myself, like drawing a lot, not having communication, not bad at communication, but like it's a little bit communication, and just focusing on drawing. And I think that's like give me like a lot of experience about drawings and have a lot of time with drawings to be better on it. But in a bad way. Like there is no personality for you, you know, like there is no being for yourself in the community, because you are not speaking, you are not sharing anything. So I try to focus on how to throw this direction. And I think one of my thoughts gives me like a solution for it, because of my religion. So I'm a Muslim, and there's a lot of things in Islam actually help with mental health, and like it gives me like you must to be yourself, and to love yourself actually, and appreciate yourself a lot, and appreciate what you are doing. And that gives me like being more comfortable while I'm working, because I used to say in the beginning, like, no, it's too bad, I'm not gonna share it, I will not gonna post it, I will not continue. And a lot of time, like, I had these bad thoughts, and it makes me not making any art, like for a bunch of weeks or months, not making any art. And yeah, it's effect in yourself, like in being in this industry for art. You must be like updated, and every time like having these practice to be good, because if you're gonna miss like 1 hour, maybe someone in another way else, or in another country or another place, maybe have like opportunity on you. But sometimes I feel like, because and actually in my religion, like everything you are gonna have in your life, it's rotten, you know. So not thinking about the result, it just like Allah told us, like, just do your best, and you will have like my result on what you are doing, you know. Like, because sometimes it makes you very comfortable, like, okay, I will do my best, and I will like give everything, I will let it go, because Allah give me like some of his don't know how to say it in English, but like a correct way for you actually in your life, you know. So just do your best and appreciate yourself, appreciate your work, and it's gonna affect on your work, because you will be more comfortable doing your art, and you are gonna love your art actually. And I think, yeah, that's help a lot. Yeah, that helps me a lot. Uh, like moving from this depression actually, because I had it, I think, for 6 years or 7 years, like it's a whole time. But about these thoughts, like, it's, yeah, give me the power to move from these things. And I hope everyone having a good health and having good mental health actually.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you, man.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
And like, I just want to say something, especially like right now. I mean, this is kind of like, out of topic of art, but like I'm Iranian. I don't know if we talked about it, before in the call. I'm actually from Iran, just living in Turkey,
Cool.
and like because of like how the government is trying to force like religion in a really weird way down everyone's throats. Like I don't want to get into that topic because it's a dark topic.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going on in
yeah.
Iran, but
Actually, yeah.
because of that, like a lot of people have become anti-religion, like naturally, and based not just in Iran, all over the world, like everything has become so divisive over religion, over race, over ideologies, everything. But for me personally, like the only thing I paint, like my way of thinking is this: when I see someone, is like, if we're in a post-apocalyptic setting, like in Fallout, for example, and there's a settlement, can that person be a good member of that settlement, or a good person to share resources with and travel with?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, fine. If the answer is no, then no. So to me, you're either a good person or a bad person. You can put any stickers you want on yourself, So that's why, like, I have friends from like all over the world, from there's every background. And I think I wish more people would, apply that, kind of thought experiment in their head, when meeting people.
Yeah.
And just, everyone's just, yeah, I hope, things get better, honestly, in the future.
Yeah,
Like,
actually, love each other, guys. Like there is nothing to.
Yeah, we're all the same, to be honest.
Yeah,
And yeah, I don't
yeah,
want to get into detail, but yeah, we're
yeah, yeah,
all we are all the same,
yeah, yeah,
in a sense. Like, we're just the languages are different, but we're the same animals,
yeah.
I guess.
No, not animals, humans.
Yeah, you get the point. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
with that being said, let's actually go to the next question, which is, what area beside the area you're working on right now would you be interested to explore and learn in the
Oh, yeah.
future? Like, aside from art, anything non-art related? Is there anything?
Yeah, I think you asked before Timon come to our podcast. You asked about what I'm doing for my art. I think this is the same question or it's another question.
No, this is a different question. Like, aside from art, is there any other thing aspirations or ambitions you
Ah,
have that are non-art related you want to explore in the future?
yeah. Actually, in the future, I think I thought about being a director because I saw the movie Avatar. Actually, I'm a big fan of Avatar because like James Cameron making a whole world, like he's creating a whole world, and putting his own story. So maybe I'm thinking about that, but I didn't have like any steps for it. I hope in the future I'm gonna make something like this, and not Avatar, but like having steps for being like making something like James Cameron and I think Dune. Yeah, Dune, one of my favorite movies actually, and I'm excited for part two. Um, and yeah, I think this is my thoughts till now. Actually, I don't have a lot of hobbits, but I'm still like exploring myself, seeing what kind of things that I'm gonna like or I want to like have experiment with it. But for now, yeah, being a director. Yeah, stop Timon.
Timon agrees.
Yeah.
And all right, so we've reached the final section and the question of the podcast, which is called Time Capsule. And basically, I don't know if you listened to any of the I'm sorry, episodes of the
Okay.
podcast before, but this is the last question. And basically, imagine like you have like only a couple of minutes left to record some voice recordings of yourself that
Hmm.
anyone in the future could listen to,
Hmm.
and you're about to, I don't know, get ejected to space or something. You're not, no one's gonna hear or see you ever again, and this is your only chance to
Okay.
leave anything from you behind.
Yeah.
And in that case, what would you say to any person on the other line that might be listening in the future, like at any point of time in future?
Ah, it's a deep question.
Yeah, take your
Yeah.
time. It's fine.
Okay. Can I like have an or give an answer before this question about you asked about what art that I'm gonna make or I will not say about anything about NDA, but I hope games came out and that's the way I'm sharing my art for the game because I think I had like a new experiment because I think I have like 2 hours, 2 years, sorry, for till now, and it's a very good experiment, and I hope to share my art with it because I'm learning. Sometimes like I feel okay. I saw the first image that I did for the work, and okay, it's 2 years, so I want to make it better, But I will leave everything like because like it's a journey, so I want to learn from it and remember every second of it. And I used to work here in Egypt like for 1 year in a company called Aroma or Aroma in Egyptian way or Arabic way. I used to work on advertising, and I worked on maybe a series or something, but it didn't publish for reasons. But yeah, I have NDA actually for it, so I can actually share my work. I hope like 1 year because I left the company. I hope they make this series that we can share our art for it. And yeah, that's what I work. And then I work as a freelancer, and then came with this game industry, and I'm happy with it. And I hope everything goes well. Okay, and yeah, this is the answer for your question, and I hope I answered well. Okay, for the deep question,
Yeah.
the recording. Okay, I didn't thought about that actually, but like sometimes, like I feel like okay, if you are gonna do something, okay, do with with your life, with your love. I don't want to be cliche or saying like something like this, but I thought that's came from our like depression time because I didn't like my work. I didn't like myself actually before the work. So like yourself and appreciate it, like I said, and do what you want with love, and just take a steps for it, and don't wait for the result, because if you are gonna wait for the result, I think you are gonna have like a many question and many bad thoughts, because there's something I will say something about in the religion, like Allah told us like in like don't don't give yourself like to lead you, because you are in your soul or your nafs, and I don't know the correct the nafs,
And Nafs in Farsi, we say Nafs as well. I know
yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
I think your consciousness, I think you mean?
yeah, something like this, but because your nafs give you like a every time give you a bad way and bad thoughts. So there is kind of hadith have like or not hadith, it's dua, or saying asking from God, ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين, like don't let myself like don't let me go with my self thoughts, something like this, because it always gives you bad thoughts. So appreciate yourself and appreciate what you are doing, because it affects very well what you are doing. And about the art, this is like I'm trying to like separate like in healthy way. And for your art, like study well and practice a lot with fundamentals, because fundamentals gives you the power for making good art and good ideas. Yeah, Timon. And yeah, that's it, I think. And I hope I answered this question well, because yeah, it's very deep, actually very deep question.
Yeah, you
Come on,
answered it
Tim.
pretty well. And I guess that's about it. Thank you so much for coming by. It was a real pleasure. And where can
Thank
people
you.
contact you if they had any questions? Is your Instagram account okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and thank you for having me, man. And yeah,
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna
pleasure,
say
man.
something, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, go on.
uh, One of my dreams actually being work on game industry, and sometimes like I feel, and that's why like making your steps for what you are doing, because I thought maybe like I have this in my mind, like it's gonna be a day, like maybe I have a podcast, not in Arabic but in English, and sharing my art and my things with people, because and I have this podcast because my art is speaking about me, like and about myself. And yeah, this is a good experiment, and thank you for having me actually. And yeah, this is maybe a
No, my pleasure, man.
second goal for my life, having like something this, and I hope it goes better
Yeah,
in the
thank
future.
you so much. That's like a that's really flattering. Thank you so much. I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
thank you, man.
But to be honest, like yeah, the thing is, in industry, I've said it before, like and I get it, it's fine, but
Hmm.
like only like people who are like top of the top gets interviewed or something like that, and that's not bad, but it kind of as well sends a message that only unless you're top of the top, your words are not worth listening to. And
Hmm.
to me, that's just kind of weird. Because I think everyone, and I know that sounds kind of sappy or weird, but I think everyone, regardless of like their skill level, as a human, they have a new perspective on maybe on the same thing, but new perspective, something to share, a new insight, and that's the whole thing
Hmm.
about this podcast. And just aside from that, it's just fun to talk to new people.
Yeah.
And yeah, like for example, you mentioned your experience with with mental health and everything like that. Like that's really important.
Yeah,
Sure, maybe that wasn't the best tips about how to do brush strokes on Photoshop or something like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
but still, not all life is art. Your art is going to be something that's going to fulfill you, that's going to make money. Sure, that aside from that, what else is there?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
to me,
actually,
art.
because I'm sorry for interrupting
No
you.
worries.
For the art, like it's something you practicing it, but like in a mental health or like in a healthy way. So you must be good, because I had bad time with my back because sitting a lot for drawing. And yeah, you are gonna be better actually, like in maybe 1 month, one year, 1 2 years, something like this. But yeah, and that's it about art. Like it's just practicing. Like if you want to be good at anything, and the art actually is one of these things, you just want to practice. But if you are like have a bad time with yourself and with your mental health, you will not gonna make anything. So, but anyone have any question about anything? I hope that I have the answer for it. And yeah, happy to have any question from anyone.
All right, awesome. You heard it here. And by the way, today
Yeah,
is right now as I'm recording is 2:56 p.m.
yeah,
Istanbul time, and I think it's the same time as Egypt as well, right?
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah,
Yeah, and it's 12th of May 2023 as I'm recording this episode of
yeah,
222. We're wrapping up, and
yeah,
tomorrow there's going to be 4 episodes recorded, and the day after that 3 episodes. So in total, I'm going to drop like 8 episodes on your heads like soon in a span of a week or two. So be excited for that. And well, that's about it. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. And until next episode, bye.